definitely they're easier than sheep. I'll tell you that much. Taking about a week for them to warm up to Carissa and I, but there's certain ones that will like just come right up to us now. Yeah, and cattle are curious. If you just like sit down, they'll just like come up to you. We need one more good rain to clean them up from the trailer ride home. Yeah. 15 hours on a trailer with cattle, and they definitely got their fair share of manure on them. 90% of their diet comes from perennial pasture where they're moved every other day. This is what the environment needs. Like if we did not graze this carbon and have them put back down manure that helps build soil, none of this cycle would happen. Like it would just, the grass would grow tall, it would go stagnant, it would bow over, it would actually crowd out and kill the grass. These guys, they help rejuvenate it, where literally 3 days after they've been in a paddock, you can't tell they were there. And new grass is growing and we're building soil in the cycle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the ultimate, we're harvesting sunlight and making beef. 3 years ago, this would have been soybeans, this entire farm. And 6 months out of the year, it would have been brown. And now it's got perennial cover on it, and we're actually probably making more pounds of food now, and we're still just the tip of the iceberg. Like, this is our first foray into cattle, and like, we're so undergrazing it right now, it's not even funny. Like, we have so much grass.
Yeah.
Like, we honestly need, and as the soil continues to build, like, there's still bare spots here, and like everywhere you see cow patties and stuff, like, that's gonna be rejuvenation next year. One day's worth of chicken manure.
Amazing.
It's kind of funny to watch them. Everybody fucking dart to the front to get to the front stuff every day.
How do you end up watering those back there?
Sheep?
Yeah, do you use
Still
a hose back there?
This day it probably rained, or we accidentally left them over for an extra day, and then you can just start seeing all of a sudden whatever happened between here and here. Now you can't even tell if they've been there.
I think orange tag. Unless she has, she wouldn't have a lamp. Hi.
This is what happens when a livestock turns into a pet.
It's overflowing. No, Dad. We're trying to break this habit of them.
Yeah. Oreo.
He gets no. Hey, no. We're not gonna butt. We're not gonna butt.
Well, as soon as we're waiting for more reels to come in, and then these guys will be actually out there with a paddock. But COVID kind of, unfortunately, it's affected agricultural stuff too. And what?
Fence is on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, watch that wire right there. Yeah. Or it bites. Yeah, we've had a lot of delays in being able to get just different, everything from fencing supplies to watering supplies. I know the bottom 15 acres, the fence is delayed by 5 months. And just to get more, there's none of this available fence on the entire eastern coast right now. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely affecting all kinds of stuff, unfortunately. I know, it's not as hot as yesterday. You guys liked the water yesterday. He's following Kara.
Kara, come. Here, Kara.
Come on.
Oreo, here, buddy. You want a treat? Here, Oreo. Kara, we understand you would like a treat. Come on, bud. Are you a wild lamb? Are you a pain in the butt?
Pretty bad.
Yeah. I think the sheep are green. I bet he is the reason why that thing keeps coming
Probably
off.
so, because he just follows us everywhere.
Hold on, it's going.
Hurry
Hold
up.
on. Well, you just hit the fence. I'm not gonna even get a reading. I need the fence to go off so it's not going off. Did he just fart on you?
I don't know. I need you to turn it off now, because he's getting heavy.
I'm gonna see myself laughing so hard. It's off.
Keeps them in, whereas the sheep 3 strands might keep them in. Kind of crazy how one strand of electric fence can keep in a 1,200-pound animal.
Pretty phenomenal.
It makes, I mean, we couldn't do management without it. It makes it so that we can move them so frequently and with lightweight supplies instead of having to have permanent fencing and barbed wire and, you know, everything else, you know, all over the place. It lets us do these daily paddock moves. Like our quick connect water system that we put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and the electric fencing are really the 2 things that let us mimic, you know, the biology that we do.
Yeah.
Without those 2 things, we just have to turn the cattle out and the sheep out and, you know, move them much less frequently.
Yeah. That's amazing.
With that said, we couldn't do what we do without row crop. You know, we don't grow corn, we don't grow soybeans. You know, we're definitely part of the regenerative agricultural movement, but we don't necessarily say we're completely sustainable, because to grow chickens and hogs, we need grain. And that's why we're moving to grinding and mixing our own feed, and why we got that loan through Steward, which is a regenerative ag lending company that is going to allow us to do that. And instead of buying grain from all over the country, we'll buy grain from our neighbors. So it'll stay right here in the county and be able to help other producers in our county have a source for their grain to go that's very nearby. And, you know we need grain. Grain's not necessarily the enemy for what we do, because we require grain to grow, especially chickens. But we want to be able to do it where it's coming from our county, not the country. Yeah. Our end goal is, you know, our rural economy is dying. You go to our little town of Radnor and there's nothing there. There's no businesses. There used to be a gas station and a little diner and, you know, those little things back in the 30s and 40s and 50s. Now there's none of that. And we want that back. You know, people need to be on the landscape and people need to be in rural environments. And without jobs, there's no reason to be here. So, yeah, that's our soapbox.
Yeah. Good stuff.
We really need to get the sheep in front of them. Yeah, but again, you can see, like, this had chickens on it just 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it's already just back to growing again. What's up, chicken? What are you guys doing? Something kind of primal about just putting your hands down into warm soil.
Oh, yeah.
Just makes you feel alive. I feel like a lot of people could use doing that.